with very basic level of introduction.
Okay.
So we will discuss. So first of all, let me complete the demo. Means what? I will take 4 slides. I will explain them so that you can understand what is my explanation levels. So that
Okay.
I will show you the content. So we can discuss later about everything with Suresh. Okay.
Okay.
Right, Manasa. Right now, Selenium is a popular automated testing tool for websites. The first point you have to know is Selenium only works for web applications. It is not possible to work with remaining applications like desktop applications,
Mobile.
console applications. So obviously
Okay.
the main advantage and disadvantage of Selenium is it's only work for web applications. Selenium
Okay.
is becoming more and more popular and it is most preferred choice. Why? Because first of all, why Selenium is most preferred choice right now in the market is Selenium made automation license free. Otherwise, before Selenium, there is a tool called QTP. You know, obviously you said you know a good knowledge in QTP, right? So
Yeah.
obviously, you know, to use QTP, the client should acquire license, mission license, right? So obviously, the mission license per permission, the QTP license is $8,000. So that is very huge considering the market, testing market. So with the introduction of Selenium into the testing field, so there is no need to invest a single rupee on the Selenium. That's why every company is willing to look into the web application automation testing. So we will see some of the top reasons why we have to go for Selenium. Selenium supports range of browsers like Firefox, Chrome, IE, Opera, and Safari. Means what Selenium supports means what it is possible to conduct compatible testing using almost all types of popular web browsers available in the market.
Okay.
Whereas if you compare QTP, it supports IE, Chrome, Firefox, and it will support very late versions. I think you have idea about that one, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
QTP never supports latest versions of browsers. It will always a lag.
Mm.
Next one, Selenium supports multiple languages like Java, Python. What is means what? To work with Selenium WebDriver, especially we will mainly focus on WebDriver, which is market requirement now. To work with Selenium WebDriver, a person should have either Java, Python, PAL, Ruby, PHP, .NET. In .NET, C#. Means what? If you have any one knowledge, any one programming knowledge, that is sufficient to work with WebDriver. Whereas if you compare QTP, must and should be the person should aware of VB scripting, right?
Yes.
Right. But that is a one language. One language restriction is not available in Selenium. Selenium supports multiple languages. So if you know any one popular programming, obviously Java, generally Java, Python, C# are very popular, PHP also, compared to VB scripting. So we can find more and more experts easily in the Selenium field. Selenium has the capability to operate almost all every OS. That is also major advantage. You know, only QTP only works on Windows, right? But whereas Selenium will work almost all operating systems where we can use Java. Wherever Java works, obviously there Selenium will works. Selenium is an open source, no need to purchase any tools. Not only that one, Selenium provides support for integration of open source frameworks like TestNG, JUnit. Means what? With the combination of third-party tools, we can perform unit testing, integration testing, end-to-end testing, and user acceptance testing using Selenium. Means what? Using Selenium, we can perform almost all levels of testing. That is a main. So these are the main topmost reasons why Selenium is getting boom right now in the market. Any questions?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So now, for our understanding purpose, just a small comparison between Selenium and QTP. Selenium is an open source, obviously, and you know QTP is a commercial. Selenium can run tests across different browsers, whereas QTP only supports Firefox, IE, and Chrome. The two, there is a very lag in latest versions. Selenium supports varying operating systems, whatever the points we discussed, whereas QTP can only be used in Windows. Selenium will support mobile devices. QTP also supports mobile devices, but we need to purchase third-party license.
Okay.
Selenium can execute test while the browser is minimized. That is another major drawback in QTP. To work with QTP, the browser always must be in activated state, right? Otherwise, we need to make it active.
Okay.
Next one, Selenium can execute test in parallel. Means what? There is a tool called Selenium Grid, which is freely available. Using that Selenium Grid, at a time on different operating systems, on different browsers, you can run the test at a time. Means what, if you execute a single script, automatically it will open on 4 to 5 machines at a time. Automatically the same script will be executed on different browsers, on different operating systems. That is known as parallel testing. Whereas in QTP, it is not possible. We can execute them, but again, we need to purchase QC add-on for that one. C can only execute in parallel, but using Quality Center, which is again a paid product. So these are the main drawbacks of QTP compared to Selenium. Whereas the main drawback of Selenium compared to QTP is Selenium supports only web applications.
Okay.
Selenium supports only web applications. It is not possible to automate any kind of desktop applications. Okay. But again, right now in the market, there is a lot of boom for Selenium. Already you know that one, right?
Yes.
Why? Because most of the applications, nearly 80% of the software applications belongs to web applications.
Okay.
Means what, Selenium supports nearly 80% of applications in the market. That's why nobody is bothered about. Just 1 second. So are you able to see the Selenium components?
Yes.
Yeah, actually Selenium is not a single tool. It's a collection of 4 different tools. First one, Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, next one, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium Grid. You can operate each one separately. Okay, one is not depends on another one. So Selenium IDE is a Firefox plugin which will be only works on Firefox, which can be used for record and playback. So in QTP we have record and playback, right? Like that, if you want
Yes.
to achieve record and playback in Selenium, you have to depend on Selenium IDE tool. Okay. So now in QTP we have something called expert view, right? Where we can write our own script using Vue scripting. Right?
Yeah.
Like that, if you want to write your own script using different programming languages, we can depend on RC. RC is improved with the version of WebDriver. See here we have 2 tools, Selenium Remote Control and WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver is the latest version, means what, it is an enhancement for remote control. Right? RC is older version, WebDriver is newer version. RC is known as Selenium 1.0, WebDriver is known as Selenium 2.0. Apart from this one, we have something called Selenium Grid. Just now we seen Selenium Grid can be used for parallel testing, right? So using Selenium, it is not possible to create test scripts. It is not possible to create test scripts. Selenium Grid can be used for test execution only. So in Selenium suites, generally right now in the market we have 4 components. One is IDE, second one is Selenium Remote Control, third one is Selenium WebDriver. Using these 3 tools, we can create scripts, and we have another tool called Selenium Grid, by using which we can execute the tests in parallel. Any questions up to now?
No.
So first of all, so are you able to understand my language, right? Means what, I'm okay with the speed, or otherwise you are feeling I'm too much fast?
It's better to little bit slower.
Yeah, that's right. So no issues. Generally, if I go slow, some people will complain. So he is very slow. That's why I'm asking. No issues.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
little
okay.
bit fast. Better to
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. Anyway, this is a demo class. Okay, no
Okay.
issue.
So by using Selenium IDE, RC, and WebDriver, we can create the scripts, and by using Selenium Grid, we can execute those scripts created by using.
Right.
That's what you.
So
Okay.
only scripts you created by RC and WebDriver. Why? Because IDE is not a script generator. It's a Firefox plugin where we can create scripts using HTML, which will only works on Firefox.
Okay. By using
So
IDE.
by using IDE. So Selenium IDE is a very basic tool, and okay, so that is a very basic tool which is developed for invoice. Means what, people don't know how to work with expert technologies. Like, so for example, assume I don't know. See, because I'm a tester, assume I don't know Java programming. So now, but I want to do a little bit of automation in my project. So at this point, Selenium provided a solution called IDE. Means using IDE, even you don't have any programming knowledge, just we can install Selenium IDE in our Firefox. By using Selenium IDE, we can record and play. You know what is the meaning of recording, right? So like that same like in QTP, there is a record button will be there. I will show you now. At the end of the demo, I will show you. Today we will discuss how to install IDE and how to work it. Now there will be a record button. We will click that record button. Then automatically we will do all the transactions what we want to script should be generated.
Hello?
Right? Okay, no issues.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Next one, Selenium remote control was a flagship testing framework. Means what? The initial popular Selenium tool is remote control, by using which we can create advanced scripts like using loops, data parameterization using Excel sheets, databases, and everything we can do. Okay, but what is the problem with the Selenium remote control is actually when they are designed the Selenium remote control, they designed in a way that we have to prepare the scripts. The scripts will be sent to standalone server. Then the standalone server will send the script to the application. Means what? They designed a mechanism called Selenium standalone server, which will handle our scripts. But what happened? Initially, it's very good. Everybody appreciated that move. But later, when the industry started using using in a huge scales, what happened is that standalone server is not able to handle more number of scripts at a time. See, generally at a time we can execute 100 scripts or 200 scripts. So if you execute 10 scripts or 20 scripts, it will no issues. But if you try to execute more number of scripts like 100 scripts or 200 scripts, automatically standalone server will create problems. To eliminate this one, they developed next version called Selenium WebDriver, which does not require any standalone server, which will directly send the scripts onto the application under test. Means what? Just write the script, start executing, automatically it will test the application. Apart from this Selenium remote control and Selenium WebDriver, we have something called Selenium Grid, which can be used for parallel testing. Understand?
Okay. To reduce the load, we are using Selenium Grid. That's what you're saying.
Can you repeat?
To reduce the load, that means if you want to execute more number of scripts, we can use Selenium Grid. That's all.
More number of scripts on different platforms, actually.
Okay.
For example, there is a web application. Now you want to test the same application on Chrome browser, in Firefox browser, in IE browser. Generally, what we have to do first, we need to complete in IE, then we need to complete on Chrome, then we need to complete on Firefox, right?
Okay.
But if you use Grid at a time, if you click one test execution, it will open 3 different browsers in 3 machines. At that time, it will complete all the browser testing and it will show you the result. There is a use of Selenium Grid. Okay.
Okay.
Anything more?
That's it.
That's it, right?
And what is Selenium WebDriver?
So that is a version number 2 for Selenium remote control. Selenium remote control is known as Selenium 1.0. Next version is known as Selenium 2.0, aka Selenium WebDriver. That is an advanced version of Selenium remote control. In our coaching, in our training, we will learn Selenium WebDriver, not RC. RC is outdated. Right now in the market, nobody is using remote control. No company is using. Okay, even the companies which have RC scripts are migrating to WebDriver.
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions?
No.
No. Okay, let me discuss your contents first. Then we will. 1 second, please. Content. See here, this is your contains Manasa, right?
Yes, once.
Right. So, so I will start with what is a locator. So generally, again, Manasa, with the frank opinion, what is it is very easy to learn Selenium for yourself. Why? Because you are already have good knowledge in Selenium QTP, right? So you know what is a test automation, and you have what is a locators. As a no need to say what is a locator, what is a property of a object. You know everything, right?
Yeah,
With
properties.
respect to application, yes, properties and everything. So
Mm.
it's very easy to learn WebDriver. Okay, don't bother about that one. You can very easily do it. Very easily you can do it. No issues at all. Okay. So Selenium, I will first of all in the first classes, I will show you how to use Selenium IDE and how to record basic scripts using Selenium IDE and what is the different locators available in Selenium. Generally in QTP we have different properties. Generally we will call them as properties, right? In
Yeah.
Selenium we will call them as element locators. In QTP we will call them as object properties. In Selenium we will call them as element locators. Means what object is known as element, object identifier is known as element locator. Right?
Okay.
In Selenium, it doesn't have any mechanism called OR. Generally, in QTP, OR is very popular, but that mechanism is not available in Selenium.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, first of all, we will discuss the basic things about Selenium IDE. Then, we will put our concentration into Selenium Java. Java is required. So, you are learning Selenium WebDriver with the combination of Java. Right? So, basic things like what is the different variables available, what is arrays, working with strings, loops, methods, classes, interfaces, all loops concepts, exceptions. Now, how to work with Excel workbooks and databases. Apart from that one, we have something called TestNG and JUnit. Then once they are completed, we will shift our focus to Selenium WebDriver, how to write a Selenium WebDriver code. So how to handle different elements. That means what objects in the automation under test. Then with the combination of Excel sheets, with the combination of property files, with the combination of databases, how to full-fledgedly create our automation test. Okay, this is your course. Apart from that one, we will see Selenium Grid and advantages of Selenium Grid. And what is the application we are going to use is, there is something called Adapt in Practice website. So we are going to use Adapt in Practice website for our testing purpose while in the training.
Okay.
Any more questions?
No.
So, what are your expectations?